Is there a sound now? Can you cut down the echo? Can you cut down the echo? That's better, isn't it? I know it sounds dreamy. We have an echo sound, but maybe it's a little too far down. Is everyone okay? Are you good on your legs? Good. Some of you may have been on the Padayatra. How many people were just chanting with us? And walking? And singing? And looking? And belching? And burping? Okay, all of the above. Hare Krishna. We'd like to dedicate this event, if that's okay, to Sri Ramachandra. And I think everyone knows why. Because in a very beautiful spot, very sacred place in northern India, in Uttar Pradesh, is this very amazing kingdom that ruled for some time. Extending out from the place, it's called Ayodhya. And it's quite a historic event. But all over the world, people are recognizing the superheroism of Sri Ramachandra. He is one of the avatars that we talk about. And avatar is a word that's become household, even in the West. But the word has been with us, ancestors, for a long time. Avatar. It means one who descends from a higher plane and comes down to this lower plane of existence to help raise the consciousness of people. Okay? Consciousness. Many things that we do are not very conscious. We are not very sensitive to what we do. Many people live on a survival mode. I just got to live. Sometimes when you ask some people, how's everything doing? They say, I'm living. Yeah, but can you do something more than that? All right. So anyways, I am Bhakti Swami. I've been introduced as such. And thank you all for coming. Looks like we're nicely seated. Is there any way that I can ask you to just extend yourselves a little bit more? And I'll tell you what I mean. We've been asked to do some chanting. But chanting is not complete without using the whole body. So I'm talking about the head up here. Everybody knows, point to your head. And now point to your toe. Point to the other toe. And point to the fingers. And all that's included in there refers to dance. Now, yesterday I was in Trinidad in a place called Paramaribo. Anybody heard about it before? Thank you. Thank you. Paramaribo, anybody? How many people have heard of New York? New York? Put your hands up. How many people have heard of Felicity? How many people have heard of Paramaribo? Paramaribo. Haribo. Haribo. Okay, great. So I was there. We had a nice little program. And we just did this real simple step. And everyone could do it. And it was so beautiful. So before we start our little talk about Ram, can I please ask you all to simply raise not your consciousness, but raise your buttocks and everything about that. Is that okay? After the count of three, 1, 2, 3, you're up. Yes, now. Fantastic. Please applaud yourselves. That was great. Now I'm going to move back here, just to make a little more space. I'm going to move the skinny anaconda from the floor here. I'm getting closer to our musicians. Now we're asking you, keep your purses where they belong. Can we ask you to move forward into this space here? Is that possible? Now some of you are like, you have my seat? And the answer is yes. Learn detachment. Yes. Come on forward. Come forward, that'd be great. Yeah. Men, women, children, monsters, Rakshasas, and angels, all of you. Hello, how are you doing? It's a good to see you. See, if he can come forward, where we here, then everyone can come forward, isn't it? That's okay. We'll take care of other stuff later on. All right, can we get everyone to move forward? See this? Thank you. Love. Come on over. Come on over. That's good. We're doing all you wonderful, kind gentlemen, come on up front. We're not going to do anything that's going to hurt anybody. Okay, now if you all just form a line, like a big wall, then people can't come forward. So, Matajis, can you please come forward? No, well, okay, to the side, whatever you like. Okay, who? You need another word? Okay. Okay, so we have some space up here. Come on, folks. Okay. Okay, right? Come on up. See what we're doing here? We're coming up this way. Yeah, everyone come up. Yeah. More space here. Space, come forward. Prabhuji, Saffron Man, can you come up here? Yeah, everyone come forward. Everyone come forward. Yeah, Mother, please come forward. Face the Murtis. Face the Murtis. Okay, that's good. Hey, now it's happening. Good. Mr. Hanuman, come on over. Yeah, just, we want you to inspire everyone. Okay, great. Hanuman, part of the Ram Leela. Okay, come on a little bit more. Okay, that's great. There is some space in the hallway, listen. So now what we're going to do, I'm just going to go up a little higher to demonstrate what I'm talking about in terms of dance. And I'm going to ask Keshava to give me a beat. Soft in the beginning. Okay, so take your right foot. Everyone knows the right foot? You can look at it. Right foot. And what you do is cross over the left foot. And then take that right foot, cross it back. And come down one more, it's a little safer. So, right foot, cross. 2. Then we're going to take the left foot and cross over the right foot. Like that. And back. Okay, everyone's got it? And 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 8, 2, 3, and 4. You can say 8, 2, 3, and 4. Now most of you know where your right leg is. Most of you know which foot is which foot. After a while, you just don't have to look down on the floor anymore. Yeah, it's okay, Phil, it's okay. We did that 2 years ago, it's okay. Leave it now. Yeah, very good. I like that tambourine in the background. Okay, are we all moving the same way? Go with the steps. 2, 3, and 4, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this way. this way and that way. You could do the same thing, arm formation. And that way, in the name of Ram. We're doing this for Ram's pleasure. Let's try to all move together. Okay. I'm going to simplify it for you, okay? I really will simplify it. 1, 2, and 1, and 2, and 1. And the other way. Come on. Let's do something nice, a nice dance. This helps. Stand with it. No, you just look towards the view. You look this way, turn around. Bhakti, turn around, please. Stay there. Stay there, please. Yes. The hands help. The hands help. I love the beat you've established there. Through the other way, you're wrong. The other way. This way, that way, this way, that way, this way, that way. Yes, Arigo. Yes. I see a lot of smiles happening now. Isn't this nice? It's a different kind of a program that we're doing today. Okay. And soon we will introduce the Maha Mantra. Prabhupada encouraged us to chant the Maha Mantra. Even though we had Sitaram deities in our Jugu temple, he didn't ask us to chant Raghavati Raghava Rajaram. He wanted, or Sitaram, Sitaram. He wanted us to chant Hare Krishna. Now I'm going to start. We're doing good. We're like flowing rice. Beautiful. And I will start the leading and then you follow. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Holy Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone sing it up. Real soft. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Everyone knows the song. I'm going to lead it again. And we're going to ask you to just use softness for a change. Real nice, peaceful approach. Hare Krishna. No, it's me. No. You don't sing. No. Don't sing. I'm the one that's supposed to take the lead on this. It's called Shravanam Kirtanam. And then you answer, you respond. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now you sing it, but soft and easy, sweet. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, didn't that sound nice? We didn't have to show off or be loud. Keep it up. Keep it up. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now it's you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Very good. You were doing good. Aren't you proud of yourselves? I'm sure Ram is happy that we're chanting his name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Very good. Beautiful. You're doing good. Now here's someone playing the kartals in the background. Who may that be? Who's playing kartals? Nobody? Am I hearing things? Am I getting old? Why don't you up here with us? Musicians should be together. Thank you very much. Again, nice soft approach, and then we'll pick it up. This way forward. That way. No. 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 Yes. Yes. Hare Krishna. Oh. No. I sing, then you sing. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We're doing really good. Now, I'm going to introduce something else. We have these things called hands. Now just follow what I'm doing with my hands. You don't have to be too loud. You don't have to begin. Soft me too. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now you sing. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. To the right, to the left. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, no. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Very good. Now everyone. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Something really great. We're going to do it double time on the hands. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let's bring it now. We're going to add a special thing called smile. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone now. This way, that way, this way, that way. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone sing it out, sing it out. Hare Krishna. Keep moving sweetly. With the smile. Rama Rama. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You're doing good. I'm still not seeing the smiles quite where we wanted to be. See those smiles? Keep the clapping going. Can you make the drum sound like it's smiling? Yeah. Yeah, I see a lot more smiles now. Smile away. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone move. If you're at your by a seat, please move with us. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone now. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Keep your hands clapping. With your hands. You're in the line. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Haribol. Give yourselves a hand. Now you can go back to your seats. Seats are preferential to seniors, okay? You can keep that in mind. For our seniors, let's take care of them. If you're young, then you can probably sit on the floor here. We need all kinds of space here. Okay, so please, there's room up here on the floor. Like I wish that we could move everyone up here. Okay. Okay. There are some seats up here. There's also all kinds of seats on the floor here. If you want to be closer to God, then you can probably sit.
박수금. 그래, 웃기잖아. 뭐지, 이렇게 보는 박수금. Kim, got.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. You Perus really impressed yourselves, I think. Okay, that was our little kirtan. Now we're going to get into our little class or discussion. Is everybody happy? If you are, please put up your hands. Let me see the Virat, the universal form. If you're alive, wave them a little bit. Okay, great. And if you're dead, just die. Okay. All right. Nama Om Vishnuvadaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Shatavane. These are two mantras in honor of our Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Thank you. Now, we have information on the personality Ram, which is for short for Ramachandra, in the 9th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. And during the COVID, during the pandemic, which everyone's familiar with, became a household word, pandemic, everybody's heard about it. I had a chance to write some poems. Is that okay? So one of them is called Ram, and we just like you to hear this with attention. Okay? Is Umapati around? Umapati. Can you just stay nearby in case anything happens? Okay. All right, so here it is, Ram. Ram possesses all the qualities of a superhero, royal traits of ultimate prince, monarch, or pharaoh. Reverent to all, eager to help and listen, with a service attitude, acting on what's given. His build is admirable, countenance grave, tasks he tackles, meant only for the brave. He never moves suddenly at a reckless whim. No wonder his father, the emperor, adores him. Ram is the heartthrob for many a woman. He also has a striking brother, his name Lakshman. Of all ladies, lovely Sita won Ram in a tournament. These three leave an indelible mark, a footprint, literally so, on a forest floor at Chitrakoot. In a fateful exile, they meet an ogress, not cute. Smitten with desire, the ogress solicits Ram. He declares loyalty, not yielding to this love palm. This involves a fury in the lustful jungle lady who attacks Sita, for all she does is shady. Lakshman draws his dagger, making a clean cut. Off comes nose and ears, disfiguring her somewhat. The wounded ogress flees to gain retaliation. 14,000 aggressive ogres assail, adding aggravation. Ram, Ram single-handedly put their lives to completion. The ogress reaches her cannibal king Ravan to petition. In revenge, this 10-headed villain uses trickery and hoax. A mystic becomes a golden deer who goes to coax fair Sita away from the guard of her husband. Ravan's plot triumphs, stealing Sita, Ram's diamond. To Isle Lanka, he flies with captive Sita by his side. Devastated is Ram with his love companion denied. We've got a little bit more. A vulture, a bear, a monkey offers solace. As allies, they pledge to regain the goddess. Battles are conflicts to avoid if possible, when negotiations fail with bridges not crossable. Speaking of bridges, monkey Hanuman cleared the ocean with one leap to Lanka on the strength of what rhymes with ocean? Okay. Lakshman. He leaps on the strength of devotion. Crossing a new causeway, now the means to go, is a Simeon army wielding weapons for Ram, its abode. A clash between mean man and monkey is a fierce fight. Casualties are plenty, as all exhibit such might. The turning point, a fatal arrow hits Ravan's navel. The only bodily location Ram finds unstable. The 10-headed fiend's legion is completely defeated. But what now of Sita? Has her life been depleted? All this while, it appears Sita's in captivity in a grove of Ashoka trees devoid of festivity. Surprisingly, the goddess in despair is a mere phantom, putting a twist to a story interesting to fathom. When Sita was abducted, she prayed to the fire god. He gave her protection. For this we must applaud. Then an illusory Sita was suddenly manifest. The joke was on Ravan, who thought he had the best. But then we wonder, did Ram too get tricked? The drama plays out, so emotions can be gripped. Ram, Sita, Lakshman, end a 14-year ordeal. Hanuman joins. They return home to Ayodhya to reveal more divine and sweet pastimes of a mystical kind. Tales of Ram are for a happy heart and happy mind. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. And that's a poem called Ram. Thank you so much for listening. Basically, we have the sum and substance of the story of Ram's pastime, especially to do with his exile in the forest, in the Dandaka forest, and up to the point where he gets relieved and goes back heroically to his original home called Ayodhya. Has anybody been to Ayodhya before? Anybody? Okay, has anybody been to Ayodhya in their dreams? Okay, we've got some. How many people just want to go to Ayodhya? Just want to go? Yes? Okay, all right. Okay, we're going to see if you're a Ravana or a Ram. How many people don't want to go to Ayodhya? All right, because if you did put up your hand, then there's a little bit of a Ravan in you. All right, Hare Krishna. Jai, so the story of the Ram Leela, which has been, scribed by Valmiki, a great sage, is something that captures the attention of people worldwide. I remember some years ago, it was now I joined the Hare Krishna movement 50 years ago, and in about 20 years that I had been in the movement, I didn't see any movies, really. And I used to be an avid TV watcher and things like that. Now I was sort of bedridden, and someone said, Maharaj, you should look at this, Star Wars, okay? Star Wars, okay, I heard about it, all right. So I looked at it, so they have a monkey there, they have a damsel in distress, they have somebody who's like Ram, someone who's like Lakshman, and all the fighters on behalf of Ram are all in saffron colors. And the story is just like the Ramayana. It's kind of a borrowed story. And the Mahabharata is somewhat similar. It's about a damsel in distress, namely Draupadi, and a whole war was started because of the insults toward her. So in the same way there was a war started in Ayodhya in that divine age of Treta Yuga, long time ago, over 1 million years ago, the story was to have happened. And so Sita was abducted and stolen by Ravan, or it seems so anyways. And the whole war had been ignited. And justifiably so. If you can remember that lesson, don't lay hands on a princess. You're in trouble. The whole world will do something about it. So these two epics that are so dear to our hearts is something that's very much part of our life. Right? Ram and Krishna, you can say. These two personalities. The unique thing between Krishna and Ram, because sometimes people ask us, why is it always Krishna? We say, it's not always Krishna. It's Ram too. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So where are you getting that idea from? Both are heroes. Both are superheroes. Maybe they're super duper heroes, like special. Now everybody wants a hero in their life, and that's why many of the kids get into, the Iron Man, Spider-Man, Superman, Aquaman, every man you could think of except for Henna Man. But it seems to be quite common. Kids love these superheroes, and they all have something in common. Western heroes, Eastern heroes. Let's say Ram and Krishna are Eastern heroes, right? The difference is, well, let's see where they're similar. Where there's corruption, where there's abuse, where people are, let's say, going through struggles, where they're being brutally and aggressively disturbed, physically, psychologically, a superhero will come in there and save the day. And everyone's happy. Isn't that usually how the themes go in the movies? And then you've got someone who's like a superpower person, and he's put into some device, and then they electrocute, or so they put some kind of a zap, some energy, it goes like this. It's always the same story. Always, like it's never new. And then that person becomes a hero and saves those who are in distress. Maybe the difference between the modern heroes, superheroes, and the old-time heroes is that the old-time heroes were either themselves God or some kind of superpower like demigod. And they believed in a God, and they had a lot of moral principles. Yeah. Otherwise, I think most parents, they don't mind their kids falling for some kind of superhero because there's some value there in saving someone who's in distress. It's a service, it's a savor. And that's ultimately what's behind it all. We love Hanuman because he crossed the bridge. And I'll tell you a fun story. When I walked across the United States, that was 2016, yeah. I was in a place called Toledo, Ohio. Anybody heard about Toledo? Anybody heard about Ohio? Yeah? Is anybody from Ohio? No. Okay. So I was crossing on an interstate, over the interstate highway, on a bridge. And while I was walking, there were two African-American fellows. They were on the other side of the bridge. And they were munching on popcorn. I'm sure it was full of very buttery, cheesy, and looking good. And they were eating it with great relish. So we kind of met in the middle of the bridge. Bridges are important after all. I'm just reminded of Hanuman's bridge, which really is just a leap for him. So the two young men said, "Hey man, are you a monk?" And I said, "Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I am." And then the one fellow said, "Can you teach us how to fight? Like, you know, how to do martial arts?" Because it's understood that monks know how to do martial arts. At least they're led to believe in some of the Buddhist traditions. Right? And I said, "Well, actually, some of my colleagues are martial artists, but I'm not. I come from a line of what we call Bhakti monks. And in our tradition, we believe in delivering wisdom first. If you have an issue with somebody, you have a disagreement, you simply use wisdom to try to subdue the agitation, the point of contention, right? So I told these two fellows, first we use wisdom, and if wisdom fails, then we use the weapon. And so the one fellow who was eating most of the popcorn, he said, "Hey man, that's so cool." So in other words, we have a philosophy, just like Krishna when he met with Duryodhana, he tried to reason with Duryodhana. He tried to be logical. He tried to use wisdom behind his words. You know? And we know Krishna is full of wisdom. He's the speaker of Bhagavad Gita. But Duryodhana, his mood was, "No way, Jose." Krishna was trying to say, just give the Pandavas 5 villages that they can call their own. That's all we need. And Duryodhana said, "I will not give as much land as can be found on the end of a pin." And so then Krishna said, he felt that was unjust, it was unfair, it was not according to the original agreement. And without Krishna hiring a lawyer, he decided at that moment, I'm dealing with an unreasonable man, full of greed, against Dharma, the one who wanted to see Draupadi humiliated. Okay, you want war, then you will have it. I came to you in peace. I came to you to ask for a small favor and as a negotiation, but you will not cater to that. So, okay, bye. You'll get what you want. So out of that, a great war ensued, the Battle of Kurukshetra, and Krishna was then led to do what had to be done. And it is a great drama, it is a great story. Whether we find it in the Mahabharata or the Ramayana, both are struggles, to do with struggles. And if you want to sort of be interested in a story that's going to captivate, it should have struggle, otherwise it's not a story. Right? There's no drama if there's no disagreement, if there's no struggle for someone, right? So Ram struggled, Lakshman, Sita, they struggled, and so on like that. In some ways, Krishna struggled, and then it makes for a great tale to tell, right? And that's why for generations and generations, people have been captivated by the story of Ram and his heroism. He was very dharmic. He was all for following his elders, his ancestors. And when you have a real culture, that means you listen to your seniors, okay? But I would also say seniors in ancient times were quite seasoned seniors. Now, if you listen to a senior today, who's done oftentimes a lot of promiscuities, a lot of fooling around, if you know what I mean, hanky-panky, kind of stuff. They don't have any ground to stand on. They have no advice to give because they were just not, they were not cultured enough. They didn't have the training. So what we like to see in our Krishna conscious movement is see more and more seasoned seniors, seasoned people in general, people who are righteous, not self-righteous, but righteous, people who follow the principles of Dharma, people who are, let's say, principled people. And we practice what we preach. What's always damaging in our tradition or any other tradition is those who are supposed to be upfront with their culture and their spirituality, and then we find out there's a double life going on. Duplicity, we find out the person has been called a subscandal, and yet he's a pundit or he's a brahmin or something like that. Kind of ruins things for us. I mean, everybody can understand why someone may weaken to the woes, or let's say the woos of Maya. Everybody can understand that. But if it happens repeatedly, that happens too much amongst the so-called seasoned people, then people are just they'll back off and say, I don't want to have anything to do with religion whatsoever. I don't care if it's wrong, I don't care if it's Jesus, I don't care if it's Muhammad, I don't care if it's Buddha, but there's like a repeated expose on people of, so-called leaders, religious leaders, who make mistakes. Just spoils the whole thing. Right? So therefore, Prabhupada wanted people of ideal character. He just wanted everyone to be a perfect gentleman and a perfect lady, in our lives, and because they're going to be making major decisions. People who are dharmic should be making major decisions for the community, after all. Now, when we see, we go around the streets and we see some people, like, remember the rain came down? The rain came down during the kirtan? How many people were there when the rain came down, right? And there happened to be a gentleman that was known by some of you, and he had a real nice plot of land. He took care of it, because he was a very settler kind of person, and he let us in the front yard and to take some shelter. But then some of the areas that you go through, there's just garbage everywhere. It's very tamagun. There's very little display of dharma, and so we see this is not ideal kind of lifestyle. You have these problems everywhere now. Now in the West, in so-called advanced, developed countries and cities, you have this whole dynamic, what's called homelessness. And we're not talking about sadhus, we're not talking about yogis or wise individuals who live in a detached mode of life. We're talking about some ordinary people who got swayed by Maya, and I'll generalize, I will generalize, and I say a lot of those homeless folks who happen to be living in a tent with their sleeping bag, in some cases 40 degrees below, just they have all the right equipment to survive. A lot of them are people who were victims of drugs, victims of, let's say, medications, and some mental issues. And then there are some genuine homeless people who just couldn't keep up the payments, because life is very stressful now. Prices are very high. Properties are high. Is that the case here in the great land of Trinidad? Everything's so costly. It just, it ups the distress for people. And it's unjust. So maybe we are a little greedy. We try to grab for more than we need. Maybe we're not ready for the simple life. We've raised the bar so high on the level of sense gratification that it's hard to maintain that high standard. Everybody wants to live like a king or a queen. But are you ready to, when, by providence, are you ready to downscale. Are you ready to do with less? And less is more. Are you ready to have more Krishna or more Rama and less of something else? You know? Are we willing to have less rum and more Ram? You know, I can tell that there's a lot of drinking that goes on. You know, it's easy to see. So after all, it's Saturday night, and we are having a wonderful party. I think we were having a nice time. Everything was nice except for the exhaust coming from the vehicle that we had to stand behind. But everything else was very sweet. I was so impressed with the people of Felicity, of where we are right now. They're a nice group of people. Do some of you live in this area? Yes? Some of you live here? That's great. You must be proud of this neighborhood. It's a very receptive group of people. Right. And so I guess one of the reasons why we've been having the procession, and apart from it being a regular routine or pattern, is that we're just helping people to remind themselves how important spirituality is in their life. That Ram is important in your life. Krishna is important in your life. There was one guy, he had as either a bus or it's called Ram Transport. Probably say Ram Transport. But that guy probably says Ram several times a day. And that's very auspicious, isn't it? If you say the name of God, the name of Ram. And God has many names, and Ram is one of them. Krishna is another one. Govinda, Damodar, Mukunda, etc., etc. Many names are there. So all blessings to all the devotees. We're always chanting Krishna's name and Ram's name by the help of the Japamala. Some of us are chanting every day and keeping Krishna in mind with this. When you chant this mantra, you have to think a little bit like Ram, who's a warrior. In the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentions that of wielders of weapons, I am Ram. So Ram comes across with that profile of being a protector of the innocent people. Right? So that's why he's our hero. We love him because he comes to give shelter to the devotees. Paritranaya Saudinam Vinashya Chiduskritam Dharma Sanstapanarudaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. Chapter 4 from the Bhagavad Gita declares that Krishna himself is speaking, I come into this world so to give protection to the devotees, to give them comfort, peace. I come to subdue the wrongdoers, let's say the Rakshasas, the people who are not supporting Dharma. And I also come to establish Dharma so that peace can prevail. Yeah. Have you ever thought about what peace is? There was one famous English writer, Wordsworth. He said peace means rest and be in the consciousness of thankfulness, gratitude. So rest, be at ease, and feel gratitude for what you have. So that's what real peace is all about. And everybody wants inner peace. The year 2023 has not been a great one. It's been a very agitating one. We have never seen a time, especially in recent years, how devotees, even devotees, have been very divided on issues, conspiracy theorism, and so on like that. Very divided. Some of you recall, I remember when I was walking across America, I dare not talk to devotees about politics, because at that time, 2016, there was the election campaign for Trump versus Hillary Clinton. And devotees are very divided on the American devotees, and I dare not bring up the topic, because it was a point of contention, right? And then the COVID came, So we will not forget that one for a little while. COVID. And what happened at that time? We were hearing people say there is no virus, right? There is no virus. Some people became convinced, okay, there's a virus, but the vaccine is worse than the virus, right? And so people are very divided. Some devotees I know in the medical field, these vaccines are going to be good for you, it's the best thing, and others they're not good for you. And so we had a major split in opinions. Then the Russian war came on with Ukraine, and devotees are very divided about that. And then there was Israel and Palestine, and there's devotees have very strong opinions about that. Maybe not here so much, but you will hear about it in other places. I have lots of Jewish friends, and they have, they got their take on it, and it's I've never seen such polarization in all my life since I lived, where you're forced to divide. And even devotees, people who are spiritual, will say, yeah, listen, if you don't agree with me, then I'm not talking to you anymore. We've got those kind of attitudes. What kind of spirituality is that? So we're hoping for 2024 it will be a better place, a better time for enhanced peacefulness and greater understanding. And of course those things come about by everyone singing together, and everyone dancing together, and everyone smiling together, and everyone taking prasadam together, and saying nice things about each other, and trying not to gossip too much, if at all. Right? These are the kind of things that create warmth and community and harmony, and that's what's missing today. That's what we want. And we know that Ram is very, very satisfied when people at least try to get along with each other. Prabhupada's words for us at the end before he left this world in 1977, he said, if you can show your love for me by how well you all cooperate with one another. So cooperation he equated to love, cooperation. Right? And that's when two people are really in love anyways, when they compromise, they listen to each other nicely. So some of you are married, some of you are married, were married, will marry, and you've already got all kinds of experience, right? Isn't it the fact that sometimes you disagree? There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it. Just agree to disagree, and you'll see that the world will change for you. If you're too attached to your position, what I believe in is right, then there will always be, let's say, tension. Always. You will always be tense. I'm going to stick my leg up here because it's very uncomfortable for me. So, anyways, I'll finish with a little joke. Is that okay? Are jokes okay? In the sacred place. Okay. Maybe you've heard it before. So there was a man, he actually was confused. He was a little unstable. And, sometimes he was thinking that he was not a human being, but that he was a teepee. You know what teepee is? Like those houses indigenous people make, it goes up to a point. And then you cover it with cloth or with skin and something like that. So that's called a teepee. And then, so sometimes I think I'm a teepee. Sometimes I think I'm a wigwam. You know what a wigwam is? It's like a rounded house made of cedar like this. I'm really confused, so he goes to the psychiatrist. Doctor, I don't know what I am. Sometimes I think I'm a wigwam, and sometimes I think I'm a teepee. Help me out. And so the psychiatrist says, relax, you're too tense. Do you get it? You're too tense. You know how tense are like this, or they're like this? Relax, you're too tense. So it's a fact we are all very tense and we need to just chill a bit more and chill in your mind consciousness. I came from Canada and Alberta. It was 45 below zero Celsius for several days in a row. You can't go walking. You have to go to a community hall where they have these walking tracks, which was nice. If you ever hear someone say, "Hey, chill, man, chill," well, that's the place where to chill out. Go outside over there. Then I come here into the frying pan, 30 degrees Celsius up above. You don't want to be outside at noontime. So thank you very much for listening. Sri Ramachandra ki jai. Does anybody have any questions? Do we have time for that? It's up to me. Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments, or have I just spoken too long? Have I spoken too long? Oh yeah, he agrees that I've spoken too long.
You mentioned Raman's sister, Lakshman drove his sword and cut her nose. You mentioned that, right?
Yes.
I wonder if you know, she met Shri Ram before. She told him, "I take you to be my husband."
Yes. You're talking about Shurpanakha, the sister of Ravan.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so she said that to him right when she saw him. "I take you to be my husband."
Right.
But he replied to her so beautifully that if men could learn to speak to women like that. He said to her, "Thank you, lady, but I'm already taken." But it was a different case when she met Lakshman, who she thought she could have gotten because she saw Sita with Ram, and
Right.
she knew she couldn't have it. But that was a different story, as you mentioned.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for reminding us of that beautiful little story. Shurpanakha was husband shopping. She lost her husband because Ravan, her brother, went on a hunting spree. He released an arrow. He thought there was an enemy or some animal, and it happened to be his brother-in-law. So he died for that. So she was husbandless. She was looking for a new guy. She saw Ram, and of course, Ram was very attractive, right? So he admitted that I'm just committed to one person. And if more people could think along those terms, there would be less heartbreak and heartache. We would just be very committed to our spouse. I'm all for that kind of lifestyle, that kind of culture. And we need to see beautiful examples of a man and a woman being committed to each other in matrimony. And even though it's very difficult, stick it out. That's where real love lies. It's not on just everything should be based on my needs for the moment. My physical, sensual needs should be met now. It doesn't work like that. Let's be realistic. And let's be seasoned people. Seasoned. You know what that means? You go through the seasons. Like in Canada, we go through amazing seasons. There's a season where it's white. There's a season of color. There's a season of green. There's a season of another kind of color, and the season of white again. And sometimes a little brown mixed in. It's beautiful. So going through the seasons makes you kind of like a wholesome person. You've gone through a lot. Gone through a lot. So weather the weather. And as Krishna explains in the Gita, Mantara Sparsho Sukhandeya, Shitoshna Sukadukta, Agama Pahano Nitras, Tans Tiksha Bharata. That means that you tolerate or you accept the extremities of life, the dualities, heat and cold, winter, summer, happiness, distress. See them all as the same. do not be so affected by it. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Meaning they come and go.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Anybody else? Okay, so I'm just waiting for an MC to appear. And you'll have an MC. Just somebody to go on the microphone.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna, once again. I want to thank you very much for your inspiring words and words of wisdom. Thank you for taking your time. I know you're just here for 3 days, and we are very fortunate enough to have you come to Felicity to give as an association. We are very fortunate, and we want to thank you very much, Maharaj. Also, thank you. I'm sure we all enjoyed Maharaj leading us to the soft kirtan in front here. It's the first time I've seen young people, old people not so old. Everybody was chanting Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. So I'm going to ask Mr. Naris, who represented the temple management here. We're going to thank the host, the temple Sri Krishna Mandir management for allowing us to use their facilities. So we have got Mr. Naris, which will followed by Namaste, Alter Kirtan, and then, of course, Prashada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pari could have done, this what I'm going to do. Of course, welcome to Felicity, sir. You said you love the vibes down in Felicity here. And Maharaji, what you did here today in front, that was